Welcome all. Today we are going to discuss about the looping statement in C language. Looping statement means to execute a group of statements many times based on a particular conditions. That particular condition is called the control statements. In looping statement consists of two parts. They are body of the loop and the control statements. If the control statement is true, then the body of the loop is executed. If the control statement is false, then the loop is exited. There are two types of looping statement in C language. Based on the position of the control statements we have to specify it. They are entry controlled loop and exit controlled loop. In entry controlled loop, the control statement is specified in the beginning of the loop. And exit controlled loop, the control statement is specified at the end of the loop. The main advantages of exit controlled loop is that even if the control statement is false, the body of the loop will execute at least one. In C language, there are three kinds of loops. They are while loop, while loop, do while loop, and for loop. The first one is the while loop. While loop is considered as the most simplest form of looping statements in all the language in computer science. The while loop itself is an entry controlled loop because the control statement is specified in the beginning of the loop. This is the basic syntax of while loop. While, condition, body of the loop. If the condition is evaluated first and the condition is true, then the body of the loop is executed. And again the condition is checked. If it is true, then the body of the loop is executed. And the process is continued until the condition of the loop becomes false. If the condition is false, then the statement just follow the loop is executed. Here, the statement X is executed. Now, we are going to see a simple C program using while loop. In this program, I am declaring a variable I and initialize its value to 0. Here a loop is used I less than 10, which means 0 less than 10, that is the condition is true. Then the I value is print and the value of I is incremented by 1, that is I becomes 1. Then again the condition is checked, 1 less than 10, the condition is true and the I value is print and again I value is incremented, that is it's become 2 and again checked. This process is continued until the condition become false. So we get the output as 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. up to n. Do while loop is the second type of looping construct in C programming. Do while loop is an exit controlled loop because the conditions or the control statement is evaluated at the end of the loop. This is the typical syntax for the do while loop. Here the body of the loop is here and the condition is here. The condition is evaluated and if it is true, then the body of the loop is executed. Again the condition is evaluated and if it is true, again the body of the loop is executed. And this process is continued until the conditions becomes false. The main advantage of do while loop is even if the condition is true, the body of the loop execute at least once. Now we are going to see a simple example program for do while loop. In this program, I am declaring a variable I and it initialized to 0. Here I act as a loop index. In the do while loop statements, this is the body of the loop and this is the control statements. The body of the loop is executed first. So the value of I is printed and the value of I is incremented. So I becomes 1 and the control statement is checked, 1 less than 10. So the condition is true. Again the body of the loop executed. So 1 is printed and the value of I is incremented and I becomes 2. Again it's checked 2 less than 0. It is true. Then the body of the loop executed. This process is continued until this control statement or conditions becomes false. The third type of loop concept is for loop. The for loop is considered as the most frequently used looping concept in all the programming languages. As we compare to other looping concepts such as while and to do while, here the for loop has the advantages is that initialization, condition, increment or decrement operation statements are specified in a single line. The general syntax for the for loop is for initialization, condition, increment or decrement, then the body of the loop. Okay. The initialization statement is the first statement in the for loop. Here the loop index variable is initialized, declared and initialized in these statements. The condition is evaluated and if the condition is true, then the body of the loop is executed and if the condition is false, then the loop is exited. The third part is the increment or decrement operator statements. Here the loop index value is incremented or decremented in these sections and then the condition is evaluated. And if the condition is true, the body of the loop again executed. If it is false, then the control is transferred to the next statements that followed the loop. Here the statement X is the next statements. This is a simple program for explaining the working of the loop statement in C programming. Inside the loop, I am declaring a variable that is loop index I equal to 0. And the condition is evaluated. So 0 less than 10, it is true. Then the body of the loop is executed. That is the value of I is print. We get the output as 0. Then again, the increment operation statement is executed. So I becomes 1. Again the condition is checked. 1 less than 10. So the condition is true. Then the body of the loop is again executed. So the value of I is printed as 1. Again the value of I is incremented. It becomes 2. Then the condition is evaluated. 2 less than 10. It's true. Then the body of the loop executed, which means the value of I is printed. So we get the output 2. This process is continued when the conditions become false. Remember one thing, in for loop statements, the initializations happens only once. So viewers, during these sessions, we have to study different kinds of looping statements available in C program and its examples. Thank you.